Now, we've all seen videos with a very similar title, how I booked 200 appointments in the past hour for my SMMA. But let me show you my Calendly page. 114 completed events in the last 8 days. Let me refresh it, just so you know this is not a screenshot, this is not editable. 114 completed events in the last 8 days. I challenge one of you motherfuckers, one of you gurus, to go on your Calendly, refresh it, and show me anything over 100 meetings in the past 7 days. I guarantee none of you guys will actually do this. But by the end of this video, you should be able to clone exactly what I've got set up here, my exact strategies for cold DMs, cold calling, and you're going to be able to implement it for yourself. Let's get right into it. So before we even start thinking about how we're going to book these hundreds and hundreds of meetings, we first need to get down a solid offer. You can have 100 cold callers doing 100 dials every single day, right? But if their offer that they're offering is not strong, then that booking rate is going to be really low. And you're better off just having one cold caller with a really strong offer. That's how important this is. And a quick way to kind of solve your offer is look at Alex Hormozi's value equation right here. So Alex Hormozi says that the dream outcome times by the perceived likelihood of achievement over time delay and effort and sacrifice is value, right? So once you've got that sorted, you're then going to want to select the pricing model that is applicable for you. Now, this is obviously going to be dependent from niche to niche. If you're in a niche where you require a setup fee to basically pay your VAs, then obviously that is going to be less attractive to prospects, but necessary at the same time. If you're in a niche where you can charge zero setup fee and you just do pay per lead, that is a way stronger offer than charging a setup fee if you don't need to. So I would suggest doing that. But obviously there's more on that in our school group, so I won't spoil it. So yeah, let's start off with cold calling. We're going to go through the numbers breakdown. Now, this is something that me and my business partner, Sam, always do whenever we have a new goal in mind, a new revenue goal for the business. But let's do it for cold calling meetings. So the aim here is 100 meetings per week. We've got to reverse engineer 100 meetings per week to find out what we exactly need using the data that we've collected in the past few months. So this is what we needed for cold calling. We know in real estate, our show rate is around 65% because we've optimized that to absolute infinity. And so we need around 150 bookings to get 100 meetings showed or completed events every single week, right? And we know our cold callers on average are doing around a 4% booking rate. So we require 3,750 dials every single week to get 150 bookings. Each caller, on average, even though we say they should do more, does around 500 dials every single week. And then you can reverse engineer it to see how many cold callers you actually need to hit that 3,750 dials per week, which will get you 150 bookings, which will translate into 100 meetings every single week. So the dials per week divided by the dials per caller, it will give you the amount of callers. 3,750 per week divided by 500 dials per caller is you're going to need around 10 callers if you account for drop-off, right? So all you have to really do, if you think about it, is hire and set up 10 cold callers. Now, let's go over the tools that you can use to essentially do this. Now, I've got an in-depth video on this titled 2,340 cold calls every single day, my automation video. However, a new version of that is coming out soon, but make sure to watch that old version so when the new one comes out, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So in terms of the tools that you're going to need, so we hire off Upwork, Fiverr, any one of those, right? And then we look at the applications, send them a Google form to apply so we can hear them, what are they actually saying, like, are these guys going to be good? What's their accent like, basically? Then you invite them to a Calendly, interview them in person, make sure that there's an onboarding there, invite them to high level so they can actually start putting in the work and doing the dials. In terms of training, so this is another thing that you're going to have to do. If you want to manage 10 cold callers, right, it's going to take a lot of work. And these are some of the things that you're going to have to do. So onboarding, make sure that that is very slick, allocating them places to call, motivational messages. This is something that we do in our Slack channel to motivate our cold callers and kind of keep that chat active. Cold caller manager, the daily check-ins, end of play reporting. So we know we can track them, see their effectiveness, give coaching, etc. And payments. So you've got to understand where the money is going to come out of your account, because you're going to have to pay these guys either bi-weekly or at the end of the month. So that was cold calling. Let's go on to DM sending. Again, we're going to do that reverse engineering. This is absolutely crucial if you want to get those 100 meetings per week. It really, really simplifies what the task in hand is. So the aim here, again, 100 meetings per week. This is for the gym niche. We know that we had around a 65% show rate for the gym niche, which required 150 bookings. We had an insane first line for our DM sending. So yeah, we had a 4% positive reply rate, which meant we need to send 3,750 DMs every single week to get 150 bookings, which would then lead us to 100 meetings every single week minimum, right? So we also recognize that DMs, you can send around 40 DMs on Instagram safely per account per day, which rounded around to 280 DMs per account per week. Okay, because you can send on Sundays and Saturdays. This led to this final equation here. So the amount of DMs that you need to send per week to get 150 bookings, to get 100 meetings per week, divided by the amount of DMs you're able to send per account per week. 3,750 divided by 280 means you need around 13 accounts, okay? All sending 40 DMs every single day. Now, obviously, that is going to be a nightmare to manage if you're going to do this manually. So we've got some tools for that. We've got IG Boosterbot, which is responsible for the sending. ManyChat, which is going to be able to basically manage your inbox. And then we also have Fiverr. Okay, Fiverr, if you're going to need VAs to manage this as well. Obviously, this whole situation, these conversations can't be completely automated to get them into the final meeting. You're going to need some VA of some sorts, which you can get from Fiverr. So this is also a little bit more to manage than I'd say the cold calling. So you've got to have the onboarding tutorials on how to scrape leads and accounts. That is by no doubt the hardest bit of DM sending, how to scrape leads off accounts, then communicate with the VAs via WhatsApp. They may send you, messages that they're unsure whether to send, or they may send you things that prospects have said that they're unsure about how to reply to. You're going to need to do all of that via WhatsApp, end of period reporting, payments either bi-weekly or at end of month, right? So all you really need to do to get those 150 meetings every single week is reverse engineer the process. Reverse engineer your goal, okay? So 100 meetings per week, what do you need to get there if you're doing cold calling? The same can be done for email, right? You just got to do the positive reply rates of email, the booking rate from email sent, right? It's really, really self-explanatory. So I hope that was useful. Feel free to give it a subscribe. Obviously, I do offer coaching as well. But yeah, message me on Instagram at will.howarth and we can have a conversation there.